Good. When it all happened, I was filming away. So, there was, I'm like the rock of the family, especially when it comes to, times where it's like family is really needed, and now I think I'm back.
This story never really died down. It just went quiet. And that's the most dangerous phase, because now there's chatter that Quincy Brown could be involved in a doc-style project centered on Kim Porter's timeline, with 50 Cent allegedly connected. If that's real, this isn't just talk anymore. That's a reset button being pushed. This update hit different, especially for people who felt like the whole situation got rushed past. That 50 Cent backed Diddy documentary barely scratched the surface of the questions still hanging over Kim Porter's death. And that silence afterward didn't cool anything off. If anything, it fueled it. The internet kept whispering, speculating, connecting dots, just quietly. Until now. Because the word circulating is that Kim's oldest son, Quincy Brown, may be teaming up with 50 Cent on a new series-style rollout that puts Kim front and center. That rumor alone lit the timeline up, especially since people haven't forgotten Quincy showing up to Diddy's trial for just one day. One appearance, then nothing. To some, that felt like quiet loyalty. To others, it felt very intentional. Here's what really stands out, though. Quincy never jumped online playing defense. No long statements. No emotional posts. No messy back and forth. He didn't move loud. He didn't move reckless. He stayed composed, stayed controlled, and kept his distance. And that alone separated him from the chaos surrounding this. Now, the conversation is shifting into strategy territory. Because some reports and online theories frame Quincy's silence not as weakness, but as a calculated move. Like he stayed close just long enough to protect his sisters, watch everything unfold, and avoid the splash zone while things were still unstable.
I don't mean to be the super big brother dad, but this is nuts. I might record the whole ride. Might run out of storage.
I forgot my license is in my knee.
Oh, you need that. What'd you forget?
My license.
And what do you need to drive?
Then Diddy gets locked up, and the energy shifts. With Diddy now behind bars, a lot of people believe Quincy might finally be in a position to tell the story the way he wants it told. Not as some loud public accusation, but as a deeper dive into Kim's life, the official timeline, and the unanswered questions that never stopped trailing her name. And if 50 Cent really is involved, that only adds fuel to the fire. Because he doesn't step into stories quietly. He steps in to shake the room. Quincy has always moved differently from Diddy's other sons, and people have been clocking that for years. Even when the spotlight hit the family at its hardest, Quincy wasn't the one out front feeding the noise. That's exactly why some of the wilder theories started circulating. Claims that he was being protected or playing some kind of double game behind the scenes. But when you look at the visible facts, those extreme versions don't really hold up, especially since he was seen showing up with the family at trial. So while the internet ran with the most dramatic angles, most people treat those theories as a reach.
An enemy that has a position of influence in your child's life, and knowing that that person sends you notes and messages every now and then, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, that boy is dead.
And the core point people keep coming back to is pretty simple. Quincy stayed mostly silent when it came to his mom. No sit-down interviews, no public blame, no vida speeches, just quiet. And now it's the timing that has everyone leaning in. Because if a full documentary really is being built, centered on Kim, the tension behind the scenes, and the unanswered questions around what happened, then this stops being just gossip. This becomes a rollout, a narrative, a spotlight. And once a spotlight hits a story like this, the internet doesn't let it go.
And Quincy's missing.
Quincy's missing. Oh. And lastly,
After he was questioned by the feds.
after.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was in witness protection.
On November 15th, 2018, Kim Porter was found unresponsive inside her Los Angeles home. A family member reportedly discovered her in bed, and by the time emergency help arrived, it was already too late. She was just 47 years old, and the shock hit immediately.
A shocked and devastated Diddy spotted at the home where his ex suddenly and mysteriously died. Her good friend Kimora Lee Simmons appearing inconsolable at the house, 47-year-old Porter's body found after a desperate call to 911.
EMS 14 respond with engine 76 on scene of the cardiac.
The official record later listed lobar pneumonia as the cause, and the medical examiner ruled it natural. On paper, that sounds straightforward, but in public discussion, it's the timeline that keeps people stuck. Reports say she first complained of a sore throat around November 7th. By November 12th, she reportedly had developed a fever. That's a fast progression, and that speed is one of the reasons people still question whether every detail was ever fully explained. According to reports, she tested negative for both the flu and strep. She was treated with antibiotics and other medications. Her family later said that by November 14th, she seemed to be improving. Her temperature was back down, and she was reportedly well enough to even get a massage that night. That's the detail people can't shake.
We know that Kim, and it's in the this is in the documentation, shout out the paperwork. He looked in the paperwork and it said Kim received a massage for about an hour when she's supposed to have full-blown pneumonia. Who gives somebody a massage when they got pneumonia? And do we know whether she used that baby oil or not for that massage? It makes you say,
And that's where people start asking hard questions. If she was dealing with serious respiratory issues, why bring someone into the home that late in the week? Another point that keeps coming up is that the identity of the massage provider was never clearly explained publicly, which, fair or not, left space for speculation. The coroner's report also noted no history of substance or alcohol abuse and no known underlying health conditions. By most accounts, Kim was considered healthy, and that alone kept the questions alive. Not long after, one of the first people to openly challenge the official explanation was Kim's ex and Quincy's biological father, I'll be sure. Al has repeatedly said he saw Kim not long before she passed, and to him, she didn't appear seriously ill. Over time, he became more outspoken, saying he didn't believe the official explanation fully lined up with what he personally witnessed.
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby. Sean, myself, the children, all having a great time. And I'm, grabbing Sean like, what? And she's in the back going, stop. There's no, like I said, this is not marketing for me. I'm living this life. And the only reason I wanted to tell the story, Kurt, was very specifically because I was ignored. There was the most expensive PR campaign against me to shut me down.
Are you concerned that he still has power outside of incarceration?
Remember, I'm the only one who spoke up, and I'm the only one left alive. So this is not about a scared thing, it's just time to reveal the truth. I mean, it is what it is. I went through many, many years of scrutiny and being dragged face first on the concrete, being called.
He suggested there was more she confided in him privately than the public ever heard. He framed it like she was dealing with something serious behind the scenes. And according to him, he urged her to contact authorities. In the comments, he went even further, basically telling people, you wouldn't believe what she went through, without ever spelling it out. That's why the post landed the way it did. Not because it was specific, but because it felt like he was pointing to a much bigger story he wasn't fully saying out loud. And then things took another turn. Not long after that period, Al ended up hospitalized for a medical emergency that, in public discussion, never got a clean explanation. Later, he said he collapsed unexpectedly while working in the studio. He described doctors being shocked by how many serious issues showed up all at once. What followed was extreme. Al has said he spent close to 2 months in a coma. And when he woke up, he shared that he went through major procedures. including an organ transplant, blood transfusions, intubation, and time on a ventilator. It was life-threatening, and fans were genuinely shaken. After that, social media started lining up timelines and building theories. Those comparisons aren't proof of anything, but they show how fast suspicion spreads when the public already feels like a story has missing pages.
In that coma in 2022, you had the liver transplant, you had the tracheotomy, I mean, all that stuff that went on.
Multi-system organ failure.
Yeah,
Wow. 60.
Have they figured out what happened yet?
We will.
No, I mean, have the doctors medically, like, what happened to you?
Yeah, so
because you just collapsed, right?
Yeah, so just mysteriously out of the blue, which we do talk about in the book.
Yeah.
If you actually knew what they did to me, there was a bounty on my head. There was a bunch of stuff.
So do you think specifically then that Sean Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure?
I believe this to be the case, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
My first.
In July 2020, he posted an old video of himself crying and added a caption describing how the news hit him. In that same post, he suggested he didn't believe things happened the way they were summarized publicly. He tied that belief to how strong and healthy he felt Kim looked around that time, including family milestones they had just celebrated for Quincy. He ended the post with a hashtag that many people took as a subtle shot at the public tributes that followed. The post didn't stay up long. Al later deleted it and said Quincy reached out because the post was triggering. But even after taking it down, Al never fully walked back his position. He continued implying that the official story still didn't add up to him. And once that delete happened, the internet did what it always does. It filled in the blanks. Some commenters speculated Quincy was pressured to step in. Others claimed someone wanted the situation controlled or wanted distance between Quincy and his biological father. None of that is confirmed, but it shows how quickly the narrative shifts when people sense behind-the-scenes influence. Through all of it, Al stayed planted. He kept signaling that he wasn't going to soften. Still, the key takeaway is this. Even after everything he went through, Al didn't go quiet. He kept posting. He kept hinting. He kept speaking like he believed there was more to Kim's story than what the official record shows. Over time, the pressure around his claims kept building until mainstream media gave him a bigger stage. Earlier this year, Al sat down for an interview tied to his memoir, and clips from it spread fast. At one point, he looked straight at the camera and asked, "Do you believe me now?" That's when the conversation escalated again. In that interview, he repeated that he never accepted the natural framing the way it was presented publicly. He even suggested he believes his own medical emergency happened in the shadow of speaking out, not as proven fact, but as his personal conviction about what he thought was happening around him. He hinted that something may have shifted in 2022 after he got louder. That's his belief, and viewers can't verify it from clips alone. But once claims like that hit on camera, they become rocket fuel. Social media clipped it, reposted it, argued over it, and the discussion around Kim's story got louder. Now, it wasn't just fans speculating. It was a public figure on record saying he doesn't buy the official explanation. Right now, it's still unclear where things stand between Al and Quincy. Whether they've fully repaired their relationship, or whether Al is tied to the rumored doc, isn't confirmed. But plenty of people are hoping there's some kind of alignment, because Al has consistently been one of the most visible voices calling for deeper answers. And that matters, especially if a doc really is in motion. A doc doesn't have to accuse anyone to shake a room. All it has to do is lay out timelines, contradictions. That's also why the 50 Cent angle keeps people leaning in. Whether you like him or not, he has a reputation for dragging old industry narratives back into the light, especially when power, image, and silence are part of the story. And that ties into the bigger frame people keep bringing up: control. In online discussion, there's a growing belief that Diddy's world ran on tight control. Who spoke, who stayed quiet, who stayed close. Some past accounts portray Kim's era in the family as complicated and heavily managed. That portrayal keeps people questioning how much influence existed behind the scenes long before recent headlines. And now, With Quincy stepping into the rumors and a possible doc on the way, people think the story could be reframed in a way we've never seen before. Here's the real question. Does Kim Porter's story deserve another look? And what do you think Quincy's silence really means? Grief, protection, strategy, or something the public hasn't clocked yet? Because that's the part people can't ignore. Silence can be a shield or a countdown. And if a doc really is being built around Kim's story, it doesn't matter what anyone believes. What matters is what gets shown, what gets left out, and what questions it forces back onto the table.